Yeah. It's very disappointing.
No, but,
or you log in and it's like, hey, you've done all the things. Here you go.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, he's back for a moment.
You can hear us for now. And he's probably already gone, judging by the noise. Yeah, I was going to say, judging by that noise, he's already gone.
All right.
This is going to be a fun show.
All right. Where is this region override automatic? Move this to Rotterdam.
Where did my story?
We put the voice channel in Rotterdam. Does that make it any better for the European man?
Why do you... No, I don't think that's it, Peroty. Because if you remember last week, whenever I was talking and you guys couldn't hear me, but chat could, I think Discord is jacked up, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Does Brazil work? Night Demon? How do you feel about Brazil? Is Brazil good?
Testing? It's got to be Discord. It's permanent.
What the hell was that? Did you just leave and come back?
No, I switched it back to automatic from Brazil just to see if it makes any difference.
Oh.
So have we lost Night Demon?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
I think it's the Discord. Even though I've quit Discord and restarted it, updated it yesterday.
Always.
But it seems to be like I can talk for a good 3 minutes, like in that recording, and then come back every now and again. Like I said, I'm back, and then suddenly I was gone again. I couldn't hear you guys, but the green bubble still says I'm talking. And then after a while, the green bubble disappears and says I'm not talking. And it doesn't help when Respawn keeps going silent. I'm thinking, is it me or is it him? Oh, no.
It must be you, because I think we all know Respawn doesn't go silent. So
yeah.
A brave new world. I don't know the words to the song. What?
Well, I was going to start the show, but you've decided to start singing. So I was just going to put a thing at the beginning of the show just to explain. I might sound different because I'm on a different laptop, but if I cut out mid-sentence, it's because there's an issue with Discord that doesn't like me this week. Didn't like Respawn last week because Respawn had the same issue. He was talking away and then suddenly we couldn't hear him. I think it picks on us every week. Next week it'd be Peroty's turn. So
let's hope not.
No.
Also, it's too bad that we didn't have somebody else here to replace you while you did that recording. Like, I don't know, someone with an American accent or something like that. That way you could say, if I sound different this week.
No reason. If I sound different this week, absolutely no reason for that.
Hey, y'all, if I sound different this week, it's because I'm living in America.
America.
Yeah, well, I'm going to read the titles then.
Yeah, please.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So we have a show.
We do. We have Destiny Talk.
We talk about Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Destiny 4, Destiny 5.
Yeah.
Destiny the dating sim.
Be good times.
Destiny the dating sim. You know you love it. You know you love it. You know you want it.
I did hear about that.
Bring me Crimson Doubles and bring me the dating sim. Come on, this is meant to be.
But
let me play Crimson Doubles. Let me get some kind of currency. Let me bring it to the tower and woo my favorite, hero of the tower. Come on, come on.
Drop the second half. We'll just bring back Crimson Doubles.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that's the prerequisite. I mean, that's a start. I mean we can start there at least. So
yeah. So yeah, welcome to the show. Hopefully you can hear me perfectly. I am Night Demon, along with Peroty and Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life, our Hunter Master Rager. Do we have a Hunter Master Rager rant this week?
No.
Do you know of anything to be mad about?
Shh, don't tell him.
Well, I'm not telling him anything. I'm just asking if he's things to be mad about. But he's been playing Power World, so he wouldn't even know.
I've been hearing tidbits here and there about people leaving, people coming back. Is this guy important? We don't know.
We'll just carry on talking then.
Dating sims, things like that. I mean, is it in the twibbity-twabbity, flibbity-flabbity?
No, it's been hidden. But somebody did DM you and tell you the information that they told me this week. They said, I've DM'd him, expect a rant this week. And I was like, there's no way there's going to be a rant. He's played
No.
Power World most of the week. He'll play Destiny. He won't realise. He'll come to the show uninformed. There'll be no rant. Don't worry. See, I was just checking. See, there you go, Noble.
So
So-
those of you out there that like the rants, it's his fault. They're purposely keeping it from me. You see that?
So Respawn.
What?
Well, by purposely keeping it from you, you were DM'd with the information. So we're
I
actually
didn't
we're
get
not,
any
we-
DMs
we are
Destiny
not-
related this week.
well, then someone has failed to DM you, and that's their problem. Have
They
you
might not have failed. But,
have you started listening to the Power World podcast by Sweaty Spooks and Native Raider yet?
No,
Since you've gone all in on Power World.
I'm not all in. It's just something to do while Destiny's in a lull.
You're all in. Don't lie to us.
There's no lull in Destiny. There's always stuff to do in Destiny.
There's not always stuff to do for everybody, homeboy.
There
Some
is.
people like weapons and things like that. Some people like, chasing titles. I am not a title chaser. You are.
No, but what you could do is jump on and help people get through various different things, like doing Grandmasters, doing raids. You could be the Sherpa that we all need, we all want.
No.
But do we all deserve?
No.
I was going to do it with Coffee this week, but he abandoned me. So,
The Power World,
Coffee the
probably.
person. No. He's abandoned us towards a Linux box he can't get running. So.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I don't mind doing a Grandmaster, especially over the next few days, because there's that grenade launcher, that wave frame, but it comes with Peroty, help me out here. On
the
arc
Undercurrent?
weapon, huh?
Undercurrent is what it's called.
Yeah, when you reload, it does extra damage and arcs to people. That one,
Bolt shot.
Volt Shot. Thank you. Yes, Volt Shot. That's what it is. A wave frame with Volt Shot sounds fun. So I definitely wouldn't mind that. Everybody's stuck on this Eddy Current thing. I thought Eddy Current was a crap perk.
It was. It is, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't use it.
Eddy Current is everyone's favorite 80s rock star.
No, that's
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder or
Every time I hear Eddy Current, I'm like, are we talking about Destiny or are we talking about something else?
is Eddy Current a real person? I'm thinking that EDDI.
I mean, it could be, but whenever I hear Eddy Current, I just think of like some 80s hair metal band guy.
Eddie
a perk
Current
in this
is
game.
Eddy Current is an electrical field. How you generate an electrical field, like when you wrap a cord around a nail, and that's an Eddy Current. But
Right.
no, there's no person called Eddy Current that I can see.
So currently the week that we are in, which is ending on February 5th,
Yes.
is the week that you can get the Undercurrent and the Adept version in the Grand Masters. So you've now got to wait another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks for it to come
1,000
back
years.
up. Yeah, so it should be, by my calculations, be back up on the 12th of March. So
Mhm.
if we've still got the same Nightfalls, which I think we probably will have, and they're in the same rotation, yeah, March 11th, 12th? No, 12th, sorry. Yeah, 11th is the Monday. We don't get a reset on a Monday.
No, because some of us may have turned on their games on Monday, which is January 29th, and ran over to pick up his wish, and then was very confused that there was no wish, and got to the point of screenshotting the part of the TWAB, typing the message in Discord, hitting send, going, where is this? And at that moment looked up at the top of his screen and saw, 29 is different than 30. And that's why my wishes aren't available. Not until Tuesday. So yes, resets happen on Tuesday, not Monday. That was me this week. I was like, where? I logged on Monday. I was all excited. I had some time to play during the day. I was like, where are my wishes at? Tomorrow. That's where.
Oh, are you talking about the rent for the PvP emote? Was that what you were talking about?
No.
Okay, because that's
What?
toxic as hell.
What PvP emote?
There's a
So
PvP
you don't know
emote
about
you-
that.
You can go into a wall and
Yeah.
hide in a wall and then suddenly pop out and get people.
Oh. Well, maybe that's
Uh-huh.
what was happening to me in Iron Banner last week. Because there were a couple times where I'm like, you were not on my radar. Then suddenly you were right there. And you were not a hunter, so thus we're not invisible, I'm fairly certain. Fun.
Yeah.
Times.
No, there is
I mean,
there's a thing happening now. Yeah.
what else is new? Because, I mean, that sounds like Destiny to me.
Well,
You're not
Riven's
wrong.
Wishes is the thing that is new this week. So have we completed Riven's Wishes Part 1?
Absolutely.
No.
Abso-flogging-lutely.
Completed. Stuck the thing on the thing. One step closer to an apex predator.
Yeah,
Waiting
that's
for
what I was
Tuesday now.
told. Yeah,
That's what I was told too. I was
Yep.
debating the pulse of the auto, but I was told nope, apex predator. Do the apex predator. And I already had one Apex Predator from dumb luck somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. So I'll have one to go spend on something else. Oh, I've never actually set foot into that raid legitimately.
No.
So,
You said legitimately, which means you've hunted the chest, which means you probably got one out of the chest.
yeah, but doesn't it not drop weapons until you actually earn a weapon through the chest?
No.
That raid gives you randoms. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, then that's where it came from. One of the half dozen times I hit that chest, apparently.
That was the good thing about Last Wish and other raids that came before it, was that even if you hadn't done the raid and you could get into the raid and find the chest, you'd have a chance of getting the raid gear and the raid weapons, which was quite nice. And then they changed it to say, oh, you can come in and you can get spoils and some of the mods, but you can't get anything until you've actually played the encounters. So, yeah.
Details.
Yes. So, yeah, I think it was GCX Clyde or GXC Clyde told me that I need the Apex Predator because it will take me all the way through to the final shape and beyond, hopefully. And I'm like, but I do like the look of the pulse rifle. I like the look of the pulse rifle because...
Yeah, but is it a good pulse rifle, though? Are you talking about the Chattering Bone?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very good pulse rifle, too. Yeah.
But the reason why I like the idea of the pulse rifle is because it came with the double perks of Rampage in one column and then Kill Clip in the other. And the same, I think, for the Transfiguration of the Scout Rifle as well. Because I actually got that to drop with those two perks before it was kind of craftable. So you can get Kill Clip in one and then Rampage in the other, which, if you can get it working, that's lots of damage, especially in PvP. But then you can, if you get the 5 red borders, you can craft it to be whatever you want, which is nice. And then, you could probably mix and match. So you guys reckon the Apex Predator is the one to go for?
I don't actually know.
That's what I was told / bullied into, because apparently the perk pool used to be garbage, and now the perk pool is less garbage. So I was bullied into getting the Apex Predator. And again, I already had one, so I'll take it as a win.
One of the ones that can get the 5 rocket magazine nowadays?
Yeah, I think it is. So it can roll with Threat Detector, Tracking Module, Danger Zone, Demolitionist, Incandescent, Reconstruction, and Slideway. So we're thinking
that's what it's Reconstruction and the 5 rocket magazine. That's what the role is.
So, and then the final column, it's Frenzy, Collective Action, Surrounded, Bipod, Explosive Light, Vorpal Weapon, and Bait and Switch. And I did hear people talking about Bait and Switch because it deals damage with all equipped weapons with a short time to give this weapon a damage boost. But it's the Bipod, isn't it, that you want to get? Is that one where you get more rockets? Isn't it?
But they do like less damage. I forgot how much it was, like half the damage or like a fourth the damage or some nonsense. I can't remember.
It decreases the blast radius by 30, reload speed by
30%. Yeah.
No, and damage by 25%. So that's not too bad then.
Well, blast radius is kind of also the damage dealing, So, I mean, yes, blast radius is blast radius, but if you don't have a big blast radius, you're not really doing a whole lot of damage with rockets either.
So what am I looking for on here? We want Reconstruction, definitely.
Definitely. And it's either Bipod or Bait and Switch, right? Because the Bait and Switch would work because you'd have to keep swapping the weapons, and when you swap the weapon, the Reconstruction will reload it, right? So maybe that's what they're talking about. Does any other rocket roll with Bait and Switch and that? Maybe that's why it's unique. I don't know.
Not sure. We can see if we can
40% more rockets and 25% less damage. Reconstruction and Bait and Switch, says Noble.
Yep, there you go. That's what I figured.
It is just dealing damage with all equipped weapons with a short time to give this weapon a damage boost. So you hit a boss with like your hand cannon or your pulse rifle, and then swap to the heavy, and you've got that 35% increase to damage for 10 seconds. That's quite cool.
Indeed it is.
And it also has the origin perk of Explosive Pact. This weapon gains bonus stability and reload speed when activating a grenade ability. Healing grenades and grenade final blows grant additional stacks of this bonus. Yeah, so okay, you've sold me. But the thing is, do you get to hold on to your wishes or your whatever it is, your wish token each week, and then you can get to decide at the end? I need to know these things.
That I don't know, but we did confirm it is account-based and not character-based.
I was coming to that. So, yeah, what did you find out this week, Peroty, about the constraints to the wishes, and what can you do as a free-to-play player or who owns the seasons?
Yeah, well, as far as like, and again, that was one of our questions last week is how many wishes do you get? Do I get one per character or is it just one a class? And Blue Screen 42 and I did the first wish, switched characters, went back to Mara and she said, turn in your wish that you already have, turn in the token. So, you can do it on whatever character, but it's account based. But we also did learn this week that as a free to play player, you can use your wish tokens and pick up the exotics from Lightfall, which you may not own. But you must be careful which exotic you pick up, because if you pick up one that, say, relies on Strand, you don't have access to Strand as you don't own Lightfall. But as a free-to-play player, you can pick up any of the new exotics and they will work for you and they'll be unlocked on your account. Just be careful that you're not picking one that requires Strand, otherwise you'll be a sad panda.
Super sad panda.
Definitely. They are very low rolls. I believe they're 46 in stats, so they're very low. So it kind of gets you in the door. So at least if you've got it unlocked, if you then go and play Legendary Lost Sectors, do you then have the chance of it to drop at a higher rate because you've actually already got it? Because that is the theory, isn't it?
And that should open up the focusing for you as well. I mean, basically, once you have one, then it's in your loot pool to potentially drop to get in when you buy the engrams from Xur. Like, you can focus it. Yeah, I mean, once you have it knocked out on the knockout card, so to speak, you can get more versions of it. So at least, even though the one you're going to get is not going to be good, at least it opens the door to possibly get a better one. And you didn't have to buy Lightfall to do it. So
no, I think that's one of the good things, isn't it? That even if you are a free-to-play player, these things that we thought were going to be part of the season, that were like you had to have owned the season pass, you can go and do these kind of mini quests as they are. So yeah, that's a good thing. So this week we had complete public events, and you had to do 3 in the Strand, and they had to be the specific one. And
or just one heroic one.
Was it one heroic?
Yep, one. Yeah, it said complete 3 of that particular. Go and do your 3. I can't remember what that one's called, but to go to defend the little machine from the 3 different areas where all the scorn are running at you. But if you did one heroic, it counted for all 3. It just called it complete and said you're good.
See, that didn't seem to work for me. I did one. I managed to kind of bundle my way in one heroic one. We did it, and it just came up as one of 3. And I was like,
you didn't do it right then.
Well, I'm going to have to come back at another point. So I left and went off and did other real world things. Came back on, went back there, and I thought, I'm just going to go and sit in the Lost Sector that's just over in the corner, and you can jump up from one of the rocks in there, jump up over the back, kill the boss, open the chest, and run back out within like a couple of minutes. It's very easy. And I was doing that, running back to the entrance to see if the public event was coming back up. It wasn't, so I just did the loop until I saw it come back up. And then when it did come back up, we did the heroic, and I thought, well, I wonder if, because even if I've done the heroic, it'll just be 2. I didn't check, but what I did was I sparrowed out of the instance, came back, and it let me open the chest again. And then when I checked, it said I've done 3 of 3. So I was like, okay. Nice. Well, then it gave me extra completions to say I've done Dreaming City activities, which was nice. So yeah, running that Lost Sector over the back was quite cool, because literally where the Taken Thrall kind of spawn in, there's a ledge up to the right, and you can jump. I mean, I use my Titan, just jump from there up to the back end of where you normally drop down from the boss, go and kill the boss, and then open the chest, and then just drop back over the back there, go run out again or onto my Sparrow because I parked it there. And that was done, I think, half an hour. But what I saw is a lot of guides kept saying, the quickest way to do this is to go and do the Kali farm. And I was like, the whole idea of going to get these weapons because you don't do the raids is that you're not proficient, or you don't have people to go and do the raid. So I understand, yes, it's probably the fastest way. I think they said it was something like 17%, like doing a tier 3 blind well was like that as well, but that takes a lot of time, whereas they could farm Kali very quickly. I was thinking, well, if you're a solo player or you're somebody that doesn't do raids, that's not going to work for you. You're going to have to do X, Y, and Z to, and I was trying to see which kind of way was the best way to kind of, or fastest way to kind of get it done for people.
Just run through a Lost Sector. Like Blue Screen and I, again, sort of went into the Chamber of Starlight. Just ran into that Lost Sector. We did learn if you sparrow through, you can get through too quickly, and then none of the the ads or the boss spawns. So you have to leisurely walk into the room. Otherwise, nothing will spawn. But then it's run in there, kill the wizard, grab the chest, run out, and then basically over where the wizard spawns, there's a ledge where you can jump down, which gets you almost back out of the lost sector, sparrow your way out, sparrow your way back in. Basically, we just sparrowed in, like left our sparrows at the point where we jumped down, like where the first sniper is up on the right-hand side on the top there.
Yeah. For
Chamber of Starlight. So just ran in, jumped down, sparrowed out, sparrow back in, left our sparrows there, rinse and repeat. Because I think it gave either 6 or 7% for completion. Yes. And again, it takes 30 seconds. I mean, it takes, we didn't time it. It takes no time at all. So we had done our public event, got that done, and then just we did try a blind well. We did run a tier 3, but it was just the two of us until the very end, and it only gave us one other person, so we didn't complete it. So we said, we'll just forget this. Let's just do the lost sector and over again. Yeah, it's not the most efficient way, but it doesn't take any time, and it's more enjoyable than standing in a single room.
Yeah, I did Aphelios Rest, which was my lost sector.
Nice. Yeah, we were sort of debating which lost sector, but it's like, if we find one, we can just rinse and repeat over and over again and get through it.
Yeah. So we have some Riven's wishes coming up in the next couple of weeks. Would you like me to run through them for you, Respawn? Because I know you're dying.
Before you do that, two things. One, I've looked through all my DMs over the past 2 weeks. I don't see anybody sending me anything like that aside from the emote glitch that I was referring to, right? Also,
is it in Respawn's Rage chat that you have?
Oh, it might be. I was looking at my actual DMs. Okay, all right.
Now the question is, does Respawn find it before the end of the show? Tune in later to find out.
The other thing is, how do we start the wishes? Like, do we have to talk to somebody?
Mara Sov in
go
the
see
house.
The nice lady, and she'll hand you a thing.
You mean I have to go see Mara? Oh, say less.
Yes, you have to go see her, and she'll hand you a thing, and then she'll say, "Go do the thing," and then you have to see her again to turn it in.
You do,
and come back to focus it or to redeem it.
So your second quest, which will be up this Tuesday, is open Ascendant chests in the Dreaming City. How excited are you for that one? So
open
you
what
need
chest?
Less excited.
Open what Ascendant chests. So you'll need tinctures.
Oh, that's when you got to go invis or whatever. Yeah, you got to get the tinctures.
Yeah, you have to use your tincture of Queen's Foil and then go do the thing, and then turn the brightness on your screen all the way up so you can see where you're going, and then be sad that you're doing those that I've avoided since when did Dreaming City come out? Like 2018. I've avoided all this time, and now they're dragging me back in.
Yes, so you will need to go to the Gardens of Vasilia next week for the Forfeit Shrine.
Fine.
And I'm not sure how many you need to do. No, I'm not sure what you need
until it fills the bar.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say open like eight chests or something?
No, it just says open Ascendant chests. And I think I heard somewhere that it was 5. So you will literally have to complete the Ascendant challenge, open the chest, come out, and go back in. So I think with that, if it's in a lost sector, or even if it's like, if you've got your tincture on, you'll then need to kind of wait outside the portal, and then it pops back up, doesn't it? And then you can go back in. Same as if you die in the Ascendant challenge.
Yeah, I saw 7 Ascendant chests, but so some number of Ascendant chests.
Yes.
5, 7, some number. Whatever it wants you to do, rinse and repeat.
Okay, so week 3, or Riven's Wish 3, is defeat combatants in Legend or Master Lost sectors. And you'll get more progress for defeating combatants in Legend and Master Lost sectors that are in the Dreaming City. So let's have a look and see what the Dreaming City ones are for that week.
And again, the same list that it was Noble that sent me this. Yeah, for the 7 Ascendant chest says 1,600 combatants in Legend or Master Lost sectors. And I'm wondering, A, is this accurate? And B, how many lost sectors do I need to run to get 1,600 combatant kills?
I was going to double check, because that's what I kind of heard. But light.gg is down at the moment, which is where I kind of normally get. I think it's down for maintenance.
Okay.
Well, everything's broken.
Yeah.
So how many combatants are in a lost sector? Because there's not that many.
Nowhere near that many.
I mean, I'll give Bungie credit. This is one thing you can't just go do Cali on, which is everyone's default answer to everything in this game. Just go do Cali. No, go to a lost sector. Over and over.
But Cali is the easiest way to do. And that whole you've never done raid, there's no excuse. It doesn't matter, dude. It takes 2 seconds to learn. how to do Cali. All right, you stand on the plate that matches your symbol that you
Solo.
have. Right, you
But I'm
kill the
solo.
knight that shows up.
No,
solo. Well, no,
you
you
said-
don't want to do it solo.
You just said symbols. You had me at symbols. I'm lost.
Get
And
outta here.
either way, I'm running these things solo, so I don't have a team with me. Otherwise, I would go do a raid. Yeah, so it's a lot of combatants. Maybe
Yes.
it's 1,600. I don't know where Noble got his information from. I'm not saying it's wrong, but
No, that sounds like what I heard. So this, I'm going at the moment.
we'll
I'm
see
looking
what
on
they-
Shack News, which is it's got the details, but it hasn't got the finer details of how
Right.
many different things. So yeah,
yeah.
so I
well,
think your information is correct. So
yeah, because in week 4 we're going to have the tier 3 blind well and another 1,500 targets in the blind well.
yeah, that's what I heard.
And again, the Lost Sector, fine, I can go in solo and get all those kills. Bungie, am I competing for kills in
No,
the blind well with everyone else?
1,500, yeah, 15. Is it 15,000? I think that's going to be everybody getting kills, isn't it?
It says 1,500 on this list. Even so, Bungie,
1,500?
am I competing with people in the blind well for kills? Because I do not want to do that.
Or is it kills and assists?
I don't know. It just says 50. Tier 3 blind well, 1,500 targets in blind well. So I don't have finer details than that.
Well, that's fine to do in week 4. So week 3, I just want to quickly go back. On the Tuesday reset, on the 13th, and then Wednesday the 14th, and Thursday the 15th, we have Aphelios Rest, Bay of Drowned Wishes, and Chamber of Starlight up. Other than that, you'll have to wait until Saturday the 24th, 25th, and 26th for the Dreaming City ones to come back up to get more. So it's going to be...
To be fair,
proactive to
this
get it done
doesn't
at the beginning of the
say.
week.
Does this say in Dreaming City, Master
No,
or Legend Lost Sectors, or just Legend or Master Lost Sectors?
It says you'll progress. You'll get more progress for defeating combatants in Legend and Master Lost sectors that are in the Dreaming City.
Okay, so you don't have
So-
to, but it's just quicker to do it that way.
Yeah. So, but if you've got it up for the first 3 days, you might as well kind of knock it out in the first 3 days as you get more progress for the Dreaming City, if you want.
If I must. Now again, and to be fair, I am getting red borders out of this, so I really can't be too salty about the number of things. But I will continue to be salty about having to compete with other Guardians for kills. That I will always be salty about now and forever. So what do we have for week 5? Let's
Defeat
compare
taken
notes.
bosses. Defeat taken bosses or mini bosses in Ria Silvia in the Dreaming City, or summon and defeat Parak, the Farsia Air in Ria Silvia.
Mm-hmm. So this list says 80 taken bosses, 80.
Yep.
Which, again, it's a time suck, but I'm almost happier about that one than the 1,500 kills. Again, I am getting raid weaponry out of this, so I'm happy. I'm happy with an investment I can do solo.
Hmm.
I have to figure out where our buddy Porix spawns, or how quickly he spawns, or Pauurc, the Farseer's heir.
Yeah.
There will be lots of videos next week on how to find him, or the next couple of weeks, how to find him. Where is he? What's the best way to do this?
That's what you guys were talking about, the whole kinetic golden gun thing? Dude, that was never supposed to work to begin with.
It's a solar weapon.
Damn
That's
it.
what I said.
Yeah.
found it.
And
I mean, it was
before we
put a lot
get
of-
too sidetracked, week 6 is
Sorry.
complete the prophecy dungeon. So there is a dungeon completion in there, but that's not a bad dungeon. And we have Fire Team Finder or friends to go help drag me through this.
Or I could take you through it. I mean, I took 2 kids through it and practically soloed it because they were too busy talking all the way through it.
There you go.
Were they playing
Perfect.
a saxophone, though?
I think my son did at one point. We did. I'm sure I did stream it and for funsies, and it was, yeah. They were just at the light level, but they did keep just dying. And by the time I rezzed them, the next one was down, and it was kind of just hopscotch across the map. Like, I'll res you, okay, I'll go back over there, res you, and so yeah, just it was just me versus everything. It was fun.
That sounds right.
So how do you feel about that? I mean, they are building you up to do a prophecy dungeon. Are you happy with all? I mean, apart from doing all the many millions of kills, and I think that kind of drag it out a little bit, won't it? Some of these wishes, but you don't have to do them every week for the next 6 weeks, you can just leave them.
Right. And again, the reward is worth it. If this was just you can get an emblem or there's a sparrow, would I still do it? Yeah, because I'm kind of a servant to go do a thing and receive cookie at the end of it. But this is something I'm actually motivated to do, and I will go sit and run through blind well and bring weapons I want to level up and go, if I have to be in here for a while, let's make the best of it. But yeah,
Can we just do a dungeon and get all this stuff done? Does it have to be in the blind well?
It has, you have to do the thing. There's 6 different wishes. Each wish has a particular requirement. So you have to, you could just do the blind well, or just do the dungeon and get the week 6 wish. But what's also not clear is, I know they've said, you don't have to do this for the next 6 weeks. They're available till the end of the season. What's unclear is
how long the season
can is? You, well, no, what's unclear is if you miss season 1 or if you're traveling for week 1, if you miss a week, if on Tuesday, if I haven't picked up the first wish, do I get the first wish presented to me and the second wish? Is it just the first wish? To can I hold these simultaneously and do them simultaneously, or is it you can only have one active wish at a time, but you have until June to work your way through them?
Yeah, is it a bit like the story quest? So if they get to the end of the story, for the normal time that they set out for like 6 to 8 weeks, if you then come in week 8, can you then just do all the weeks all in one go? Is it going to be a bit like that so that you can just knock them out? So I think we'll probably soon find out. Somebody will kind of experiment.
And by Tuesday, somebody will tell us that, hey, I haven't done this, and now here's the thing.
Yeah, but who's going to do it? All the streamers are playing a different game that should not be mentioned.
No, they're not, because they all logged on to do their wishes.
Well, that's perfect, because if you haven't played the game, then you'll have the week 1 not done, and then week 2 is up, so you can tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Perfect situation.
I wasn't talking about me, though. I was talking about, like, the actual streamers out there. The people that know what they're doing. Those guys.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself down.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to do all the wishes. Again, like, it's worth the investment for me to get the weapon out of it. Like, I'm happy to go through. Again, I don't want to fight people for kills, but I was afraid it would be like, go to a dungeon, go do the Last Wish raid, actually be very hard challenges to do. And the fact that week 1, they're ramping it up in difficulty, I was like, okay, this is easily soloable, handleable.
So, is that why you want to solo them? Okay. Because the raid and the dungeon, neither one of those are hard to do.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they're hard. I'm not saying they're things, but getting 6 people together to do a thing is harder than getting 1 or 2 people together to do a thing.
Well, since you bring that up, have you not tried the new
Fire Team Finder?
That crap? Yep.
I haven't, because again, if I'm going to Fire Team Find and I'm going to say do a raid, I definitely need to set aside more time than if I'm running a raid with a group of people that I know can get me through the raid.
So it's time, not people. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and every time I mention this, everyone goes, "Yeah, no, yeah, I can do." Yes, I understand. There are many places. Yeah, it is time. It is, if I can knock this out in an hour, no problem. 2 hours, no problem. If I'm jumping in with 5 random people or 4 random people, it may not be 2 hours. It could be 5 hours or 6 hours. You never know. My raiding experience with semi groups of randoms is it's not a quick optimal run through with a team of 5 or 4 people who know what they're doing. You're at the mercy of who's there, and if you have a Sherpa, and if the Sherpa is a good Sherpa, it says I'm going to do it this way and not really explain anything to you. So yeah, can I do it? Yes. Do I want to set aside the time to do it and maybe fail all over the place?
No,
not necessarily. So I'd much rather go play the game. I'd much rather go do a legendary coil run and get loot out of that than maybe do a raid and maybe get nothing out of it.
I get that, but okay, I understand time is a thing. I'm not saying otherwise. All I'm saying is the raid is actually kind of fun in an aggravating kind of way, right? Now, when you're first learning it, dude, it's not great. It's not great.
Oh, that's every raid.
No,
everything is fun and aggravating. The dungeon I've been through a bunch of times. Yeah, the dungeon's fine.
You have? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. All the dungeons in this game I've run at least a handful of times. Yeah, the dungeon. Yeah, heck, not even solo the dungeon. Like the dungeon, I'm not worried about.
The new one?
No.
Oh.
No, the one that we just talked about. You need to run for week 6.
Oh, that. Okay.
The one that's been out for a million years.
Yeah. Yeah, but he soloed out after a while. Oh man.
Yeah, again, getting to the dungeon doesn't bother me. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Shattered Throne is no problem.
Yeah, fair enough. My bad. What do we have that's Destiny related now?
Well, we have update 7.3.4.
Mm-hmm.
No zeros in there. It's all updates.
Not a single one. We're in Countdown. The heavy ammo spawn time increased from 60 to 90 seconds. The round timer decreased from 90 to 75 seconds. Your score required to win increased from 4 to 5. And they updated the spawn policy for Countdown, so please make sure you sign the new spawn policy when you load in. Players are now less likely to spawn too far away from active objective site. So that's nice. And they fixed an issue where sudden death rounds didn't abide by elimination rules, so they just did what they wanted to. Trials of Osiris, big list of fixes. There was an issue where Gilding the Triumph could be completed before claiming the flawless title. That's it. Done. Fixed. Competitive, they added a second tier of weekly challenges that award Ascendant alloys. They sure did. And they're handing out Belisariuses like they're candy, so that's good times. The Vanguard Ops playlist, they fixed a scoring issue where players would sometimes erroneously see a plus 10,000 score. Don't know why, but you didn't earn it, so you don't get to see it anymore.
What?
Seasonal activities, they fixed an issue where players purchased the strand enhancement would see the stasis enhancement instead. Purchasing the strand enhancement will now actually show the correct buff title. And also players could get out of the environment in River's Lair, and they fixed an issue where you could do that, but I'm sure there's other places you can, and maybe they'll get around to fixing those too. In our armor, the rare armor sets Gumshoe Gumption, Midnight Oil, and Inspector, released alongside with Witch Queen, are now available for armor synthesis. This unlocks access to players that might have missed them after reaching the soft power cap, and Synthweave, however, is still needed to apply their designs to armor pieces.
And while we're there talking about Synthweave, don't forget to pick up as many Synthweave bounties before we hit March, I believe, because that's when they're going to reset it and you can go back up to 10. So that's 10 per character that you can pick up from Ada 1 down in the bottom of the tower. Get those done as quick as possible to get your Synthweave, because it'll be reset and you can get another 10 for the second half of the season.
Yep. Yeah, they're basically treating it like a whole second season. So you get a whole second 10 set of things to maybe be a Gumshoe Gumption or other things. Yeah. But good news, the Palmyra B rocket launcher, it wasn't appearing during inspections. That's back now. And some shaders weren't applying correctly to the Vengeful Whisper bow. Don't know how they were applying incorrectly, but now they should be applying properly. They fixed an issue where the bonus action triumph required 10 seasonal bonuses, and there are only 9. So they've fixed that to give the proper number of bonuses and not have one that you simply cannot ever do. In UI and UX, the UI has been improved for visibility and accessibility in the Fireteam Finder. And the Fireteam Finder group creation and group joining through the roster contacts now displays a dialogue if the player needs to purchase missing content for the listings activity. That's better as opposed to trying to launch and just can't. The Dragon's Breath Catalyst display the placeholder text when examining collections. That's now fixed. And the incorrect director prompts could appear for newer players. Welcome to the game. We're going to tell you wrong information. And you may have noticed this week the Glimmer cap has increased to 500,000.
Oh yeah.
While the Vault Space cap remains the same. Boo.
Oh no.
They did reduce the number of seasonal challenges required by the A Wish Fulfilled final challenge from 66 to 63. Now allow players to skip 3 challenges, which I think was just wrong, and it wanted you to do all of them, which you never had before. Activation for a lobby of Fireteam Finder no longer creates a new listing. And they fixed an issue where spawning in the highly commendable Transmat effect would cause movement animations to not play, and an issue where Season of the Hunt node showed placeholder text and icons on the timeline. And they also fixed an issue where they removed Nightfalls and Grandmasters from the game on reset and put them back in, because who needs those?
Well, you didn't actually want to do that content, did you? What?
No. Sorry, we put it in the vault. The accidental whoopsie vault.
Respawn, can you just check for me if you're in game? Can you go to your weapons tab in game and have a look to see if you can inspect an Apex Predator yet? Because I'm sure that's still missing.
That was the one. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I knew it wasn't the Palmyra B we had talked about last week, but I couldn't remember
collection
which one it was also missing for.
rockets.
And I think the Sleepless, which was above it or next to it, when I thought, I'll just double check to make sure that
You said Apex Predator?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
I
it-
can expect it. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. It must be there then. It must have been me. Same with this blooming Discord stuff.
So your Apex Predator was gone.
Mine was
Good.
gone.
Not
You,
the one.
very
Not the one you'll have
specifically.
in a few weeks.
Well, that's the other thing is, can I hang on to these wishes
No.
and then just decide at the end, or do I have to, put do I have to put it down now and go, right, I'm going to go for that one for the next 4 or 5 weeks and then
Yes.
get the extra
You
token
have
at
to
the
make.
end?
You have to make your decision. You have to commit. And Noble tells me that the console it doesn't load on, but the PC it does load on. So the Apex Predator on the console apparently is shy.
Didn't think of that. Yeah. Thank you, Noble.
Maybe in the next version of the Xbox, we'll have a version that can properly load all of the weapons in the game in collections.
Right.
Maybe it'll be
Noble's
powerful
actually
enough.
super reliable, man. Remember when we used to have a guy that used to be reliable with lore? Hey, Noble, are you good with lore? Can you be that guy too?
He's got the accent for it.
He sure
Mhm.
do, and he's got the dedication to the knowledge. So, how much can we not have to pay you to do the lore for the show?
We used to have a guy before that too. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know, man. He just kind of stopped
He flaked out.
existing once. Who knows?
I meant the guy before him.
Oh, he was fired by the guy that no longer exists. So, I mean, if you must know, yeah.
Well, pre Groundhog Day, we got a update. The Groundhog Day update is that spring is coming soon. The Destiny update is from the 1st of February, where we're saying goodbye to Joe. We're getting a look at our latest partnership that we're maybe excited about.
Maybe.
Fireteam Finder on your phone and on Bungie.net.
You don't know who N7 is and why you shouldn't be excited. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Double rewards for Nightfall completions are approaching. Relic will be back in rotation next week. Ooh, they found a thing they took away. Now they're bringing it back. Maybe that'll lead to more things.
Yes, but is it in Crucible Labs?
There's no way to tell. But
Is there Crucible Labs?
They increased wishing glass shard drop rates for the coil starting Tuesday. Your sword bounty has been completed because, of course, it has. Game to Give is basically over by the time you hear this, so you either game to gave or you didn't. New batch of cinematics for the cutscene archive. Final Prime gaming drop is available. Player support report and our movie of the week winners. There's no way to know what's happening in Crucible.
Well, I kind of know.
Well, are you going to say something, or is this a mystery?
What do we have to do to get the information?
Yeah.
You have to listen to This Week in Destiny,
We're
Go
here!
around with Tire Iron?
which I'll drop in now. This is your weekly rundown of Season 23, Week 11, Season of the Wish. The Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind World features Scorn enemies and the Plague, Sicarus and Varicus. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Forfeit Shrine, which can be located over in the Gardens of Vasilia. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian and the Wandering Nightmare, the Fallen Council, are both located in Archer's Line. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Crota, Despair, and Fanatic Insanity. On Europa this week, Credis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Days of Eternity Legendary rounds are Vex, Cabal, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfectus armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 2. Scathelock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Arrival, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Lightfall weekly mission is Desperate Measures, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex incursion this week will be Zephyr Concourse. The Crota's End Raid challenge this week is the first encounter Enter the Abyss, called Conservation of Energy. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the second encounter, Scission, called Crossfire. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the third encounter, Golgoroth, called Gazer Maze. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the third encounter, the Upender, called Defenses Down. The Deep Zone Crypt challenge this week is the first encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the first encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the third encounter, Morgoth, called Forever Fight. The Pinnacle Raid will be the Vault of Glass over in the Legends tab, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter, with the exotic fusion rifle Vex Mytha class being farmable from the final boss. The Pinnacle Dungeon will be the Shattered Throne over on the Dreaming City, and the exotic mission rotator will be Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, the Season of the Haunted and opulent weapon sets, plus the Eidolon Pursuant armor set. We have now had all 66 challenges over the first 10 weeks of the season. So, as a reminder, if you complete 63 out of the 66, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the Eververse store in-game. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic boots, Wednesday Concealed Void on Europa for exotic gauntlets, Thursday Thriller Drone on Neptune for exotic chests, Friday Gilded Precept on Neptune for exotic helmets, Saturday Scavenger's Den on the EDZ for exotic boots, Sunday Skydot 4 on the EDZ for exotic gauntlets, and Monday the Quarry on the EDZ for exotic chests. Also, this week's weapon rotation will start on set 3 on Tuesday's reset. Our 11th featured Nightfall will see us face off against Sadia in the Corrupted over on the Dreaming City, with the Izanami RR4 sniper rifle being the featured weapon. The 6v6 control node will feature Control, Mayhem in the Party Relentless playlist, Elimination in the 3v3 playlist, Relic in Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend, with bonus Vanguard ranks and double Nightfall drops available all week long. Plus, continuing this week, we have Riven's Wishes and Moments of Triumph 2023. And that's it for the 11th week of Season of the Wish.
Oh, that was super informative. Kind of
It
wish
was.
I'd listened to that whole conversation.
I'm excited for Mayhem.
Yes. Again, I know we discussed this last week, that I went through the rotation of the different things and I said, be nice to have an update of why different things come. We've now had Mayhem 3 times this season, Rift only once, and Supremacy only once.
And you will like it that way. Enjoy your Mayhem, sir.
And Momentum Control this week once. And you have a challenge for Momentum Control. I know you have a challenge for Mayhem, but if they'd have kept up the rotation, we would have got back round to Mayhem at some point. But maybe it's because they know that people need to do that challenge to get their Bright Dust for their 63 out of 66 challenges. So they're throwing it back in there for you. But we should have Control, Mayhem, Elimination, and Trials next week with Relic in Crucible Labs, because they said we've got Elimination, which is a 3v3 playlist, Mayhem, which is our Relentless and Party playlist, and Control is our 6v6, unless they stick it in the 6v6 Control node, which it really isn't Control. So logic dictates it goes back in Labs, but they didn't say it was Labs.
Okay.
I told you not to go quiet on me because it makes me think that you haven't heard anything I've said.
Well, I didn't, but only because I zoned out, not because you stopped talking. No.
Taka, yeah.
We heard everything you said.
Good.
And so will the people later on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to tell. They have to be listening first. So
True.
Joe's here, and now Joe's gone. Joe Blackburn's like, listen, I've been at this a decade and dealt with you people long enough, and now I'm out.
He's not wrong.
And now Tyson Green, now they're your problem. Enjoy. They wrote a bunch of words about this, which, I mean, I'm kind of like, good, move on. Like, it's at the end of a thing. Like, we're at the point of the TV show where the main characters start leaving, where the actors and actresses go, listen, I gave you a decade.
Leaving or being killed off?
Well, I mean, 6 of one, half dozen the other. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, they died. Now as an adult, I'm like, oh, they're leaving because what are they doing next? Because where is the person going? So yeah, he's like, I'm done. And Tyson Green, from what I heard, has like 0 public social media presence. And good, buddy, keep it that way. Keep your sanity. You've seen what happens if you don't do that. So you should do that and be like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, Joe Blackburn has been kind of the face for the recent, like, at least a year, hasn't he? Ever since we had the State of the Game, he was the guy that kind of came forward and was like, we're not happy with how this has kind of hit with the Destiny community. We're going to address this. We're going to do the map packs. We're going to do this. So he was the guy that, even turned around and said, I'm going to do some streaming of Destiny. You can come and join me. I'll write some notes down. We'll have a discussion. So he was kind of the face of the Destiny team, wasn't he? Because of what they did with the community teams, where where they were getting picked on in social media. They were kind of, no, it's now just going to be the Destiny 2 teams, and the only other person you're going to know is Joe Blackburn. So I think there's a lot of people that are very there was a lot mixed feelings, wasn't there, this week with Twitter and videos that have kind of been going around. And some people are upset, some people aren't upset. They kind of see it as the natural progression of game studios, which it kind of does. And the kind of timeline for Joe leaving would have been around the same time of the final shape releasing, and him going, ta-da, bow out, and I'm off. And he did explain that he's been around testing the final shape, and they're getting it to a state that it's going to be amazing. But he's got to hand over to Tyson, and he's going to continue going forward. And it's not like Tyson is this person that hasn't been involved in Bungie or Destiny or even Halo. He's been there from literally 1998, wasn't it?
Yeah,
1998
with Myth 2. The previous Myth, back when it was a Mac game. So he's been around for a minute.
Yeah, slightly.
So he's not somebody new that they're bringing in. He's somebody that's actually been involved in some of the back workings of the game and other games that Bungie have kind of produced. So it's not like I heard some people say, because Joe's leaving and he's one of the last kind of old guard that's been associated with Bungie and Destiny. And it's like, well, no, there are still other people there that have worked for X amount of years. It's just that we don't generally hear from them as much. I mean, Joe Blackburn, I personally hadn't heard about him about a year ago. It was only when, we found out that he was the game director and he came forward with various different things. So unless you're kind of looking into these things, you don't really know, or if these people aren't, out there on social media saying this, that,
Yeah, he's just the one who last drew the short straw, and now Tyson Green is the next one to draw the short straw. I mean, this is like, again, like in the Apple world, when people I like Steve Jobs, like he did everything Apple did. It's like Apple employs thousands of people, tens of thousands, however many.
But he didn't know.
He
was just a PR guy, the HR guy. No, not the HR. He was a PR guy. Wozniak did everything behind the scenes. So even that's a misnomer.
Well, actually, and all of that sort of is my point of none of these people are doing all of this. They're the face of the company. They are the face. Joe Blackburn is the face. There's 1,000 people working at Bungie. It's not like he is the one who is doing all of this work. He's just the one we hear from, or the face we know, or the name we know. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's a job. Like, he's like, I've done this job for a while. I'm done. I'm going to go do a different job now. Someone else will take this job. Like, it's nice to know, get to know and see these people, I guess. But it's like, at the end of the day, nothing really changes. There's a different name signed to whatever we may be getting. And he may be, talking to the community or not. People are like, oh, I miss when Bungie talked to us. I'm like, well, maybe if we hadn't all screamed at them collectively and bullied them out of talking to us and, threatening them, maybe they do that more. So it'll be interesting to see what tact he takes. But yeah, I think like Night Demon said, it's going to be Destiny 2 team and things from the company versus people, because we see how that's panned out.
Yeah. They do say in their thank you to Joe letter in the TWAB this week that, Joe has kind of got the final shape to the point that they're just in the final testings. They've got the episodes done, and they've also kind of got future plans, or redacted future plans, in the process. So Joe's already done X, Y, and Z for the amount of kind of the next year of kind of game direction. And it's only after that we'll probably see the direction of Destiny with Tyson at the helm. And again, even if you are at the helm, sometimes it's not you controlling where we're going. You're being told where it's got to go. You do have your own spin on these kind of things. So it's going to be interesting to see what we get in. I mean, I'm guessing like the redacted plans going forward, he may have an influence on. So there's going to be some kind of crossover with Joe's influence. But it's also nice to get fresh people in that haven't kind of been working on it as closely. They can come in from the outside, even if they have been working at the studio, to see Destiny in a new light, to give it a bit more of kind of, well, we need this, or we need to go in this direction. So it may be a fantastic thing that we're kind of, changing up the leadership of Destiny. It's not all doom and gloom. People do move on in the game industry very quickly, and Joe's obviously done a fantastic job with Destiny for now. So if he's moving, I think it was on DCP podcast, they were talking about there's a smaller company, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's ex-Bungie employees that work for Sony, and they've been working on a specific game. So maybe he's going over there with some of the old guard.
Oh,
Forgive me, I honestly can't remember the name of the studio, but it's kind of, it looks, and that's kind of what I think Sony wanted from their kind of acquisition, wasn't it? Is that they wanted to steal
the knowledge.
The knowledge and move people around. So maybe this is part of it. It's just not kind of open knowledge to everybody. Maybe he's being moved to somewhere else within kind of a Sony studio, but not directly. And he's going to be working on something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you've been with Bungie for a decade or more. Maybe it's time to move on.
Look, man. This whole Sony Studios
Rant.
no, it's not rant. But like, we keep hearing about the whole Sony thing, right? When are you actually going to do something with this? I mean, how long does it take?
Once the industry gets out of free fall, in 2027.
What are you expecting from Sony? Because
what am I expecting? I'm expecting a TV series or a movie or something related to lore.
Oh well,
hold on. That's what I'm expecting. What's probably going to happen is nothing at all, and they're probably just going to partner with them to come up with some kind of proprietary DLC. That has a Sony IP attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like Spider-Man or something. Who freaking knows, right? I don't know. But like, this whole. I feel like we're being teased this whole time. Oh, look, Sony's here. Sony can do so many things. Ooh. Well, what are you going to do? You've had the company for a while now. Do something!
Well, I do believe that we are going to kind of get an update in, was it April that they said, or May? They were going to give us kind of, I'm not sure whether it was a roadmap. It was a kind of, when they do these video things where they all sit down and they tell you about like the future of different things.
Yeah.
So
I convince us there'll be something after the Light and Dark saga.
Yeah, I think we're going to get something like that about the final shape, and then like a tease of what's happening after. And that's probably where you're going to see kind of Luke Smith. Hopefully, Luke Smith comes out, touch wood, and says, "Right,
or what?
Touch wood. You have to touch wood.
Okay,
knock on wood.
Yeah, touch wood. Luke Smith comes out and says." Right, we've been silent for a good couple of years since I last told you that I'm moving on to be the big head honcho of this, and we're going to take it in this direction for movies, games, etc., etc.
The lot, yes.
Yeah, the TV shows, the Halo TV shows. I mean, the Destiny TV shows.
So what role is Luke Smith? I don't remember. Like, what is his title? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. Luke Smith Bungie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm messing with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what his title is. I just couldn't. Part of it is I'm going, game director. What does a game director do? Like what?
He directs the games. Stupid.
Obviously, he's like, you over there, push those pixels. You over there, write that code. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm asking this question, then realizing it doesn't matter because
again, figurehead.
Big picture, overall management-y. Yeah, it's a different guy. Who cares?
Apart from Demon, who doesn't move on his gaming, he'll be the last person ever in the game when Destiny servers get shut down. He still plays D1, from what I understand, right? You've gone back and played D1, haven't you, Demon?
I've turned it on and had a quick look at different things. Yeah,
I would like to know what kind of game.
Installed on the hard drive.
Ooh, that's a good question, Demon. If Destiny ever came to a close, let's say Destiny goes under, Sony buys them out, uses IP for something else, right? Worst case scenario for you. What would you play after that?
Well, I'd have to have a look around and see what's around.
Right now, the games that are here right now, like, is there anything else on your radar? If Destiny servers went down today, right now, what would you play to?
I'd play a ton of games. I'd play. I want to play Suicide Squad. I want to play Avengers that I missed. I want to play more Gears of War.
Are you a fan of the DC universe?
Well, I've played played a couple of the Batmans.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. Are you a fan of the DC universe? Because I'm asking because there is a ton of controversy about how they disrespected the heroes when they killed them.
Look, we're not here to talk about that. We are talking about what games I want to play. I'm telling you the game.
That's a different show entirely.
Yeah. All right.
I'd probably go back and play some more Fortnite, but the PvE side of it, because I've neglected that for quite some time. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably have a look what's available on Game Pass, and just I'd probably pick some games that I wouldn't have to rely on not rely on games that I could just like kind of pick up and put down. Whereas Destiny is the game that kind of takes up quite a lot of my time.
Yeah, not a live service game, a dead service game.
Yeah, just like something that's just different, maybe. I mean, I still got my day one editions of Rise and Sunset Overdrive, and I think it was Battlefield 4.
The Xbox or
no,
open.
I put them in when I first got them. And Destiny literally released about, I don't know, a couple of months later, and it was like that. It took. Yeah, it took everything.
Well, there you go.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your answer to what demon would play. What about you, Peroty? If Destiny went down, what would your go-to be?
Oh, I'd go back to the survival crafting games.
But not Power World.
I mean, I'd play it when it came out. I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks. I mean, I sort of honestly, I keep being teased by 7 Days to Die coming back to the console. Them finally working that out, so I'm kind of waiting for that to come back.
I've seen that. It's so weird, like how the mutants fuse together to make like the super things that the fleshy. Ew.
What about State of Decay? Because I started messing about with that when
that sounds
just like,
what is that?
That's a zombie one where you kind of build your base up.
Build the base, and you've got like you can bring like two or three people with you, and then some of them stay at the base. Is that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
People can join you and things like that.
Yeah, that's really good. I play that off and on. I sort of forget it exists for months at a time, and then I go back to it and I'm like, oh, right, you people. I always confuse that one with the parkour zombie game, and I can't remember what that one's called, but I always confuse State of Decay.
Dead by Daylight?
That's the one. Where it's like zombies and parkour. I'm like, no. Yeah, State of Decay, go home, build your base, go out, raid things, bring them back, rinse and repeat.
Dead by Daylight 1 was really good. I played that one. I played that and all the DLCs. I haven't played part 2 yet, so I don't have an opinion on that. But Dead by Daylight 1 was fun. And it's not the survival crafter that Peroty's talking about, right? You get to craft guns and knives and whatnot, but eventually you've crafted all the strongest stuff, and then what, right? But I'm looking at State of Decay here, and it looks like you have to like build up bases and whatnot. That's more along the lines of I think what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you sort of have a base, and you can like sort of it's sort of base building in like Division, like you have things and you could upgrade the different things. Like it's not full on base building,
right?
Honestly, Lego Fortnite I toyed around with. Honestly, likely I'll play whatever other people are playing that I can play with because I'm just a cooperative gamer. I want to play with other people. There's so many things where I'm like, this is beautiful, but a single player, and I won't even look at it a second time. If you show me a trailer for an exciting adventure game, crafting game, whatever game, and you show me multiple people in the trailer, and then you tell me it's a single player only game, I'm very sad. And I'm going, I see them. I see them right there. They're working together as a team. I want that. Why can I not have that? So.
Right. Yeah.
Respawn, what would yours be? Just anything that you kind of play now?
It's actually not Power World, so no. There's nothing I'm really dedicated to, honestly. I play Synced, which is another first-person shooter. I do dab into the Power World, but as of right now, there's not like a game that I'm like, oh man, if it weren't for Destiny, I'd be all over this right here. There's some people trying to get me into that new Grand Blue game, which I'm a Final Fantasy nerd, and it sounds like it's up my alley. But other than that, I don't really have a game that I would go to. Grand Blue Fantasy? It's a multiplayer MMO, not MMO. It's a multiplayer RPG. It's just like a Final Fantasy thing, if you've ever played Final Fantasy.
And I said Monster Hunter because I remember you going,
dude. If they come out with another Monster Hunter World, I'm all over it, dude. Yo,
they are.
Hit me up.
They are
having a good time.
They are.
Yeah, right. Dude, because like Monster Hunter World was amazing, and then after that they came out with that new Monster Hunter game, which was it had the same weapons as Monster Hunter World, but then they added that weird like a strand mechanic where you can zip around or whatever. And it was okay, but like the fact that you had to get the bugs to buff you up was dumb. I hated that idea. But anyway, like if you
All
come
I
out with
heard out of
Monster
that
World
was
2,
Strand.
you took Monster World and just made it better with more monsters, a different storyline, whatever, but all the same mechanics. Dude, yes.
Dude.
Let me tell you.
All I heard there was Strand. Anyway,
Yeah.
who threw this squirrel moment of a question in there
Donnie?
in
I
the
do
middle
believe
of
it was
the
Noble. Was
Nope.
it Donnie?
No,
I
it
thought
was Donnie.
Noble. It was Donnie?
Donnie throwing the wrench
Donnie.
in. And Dying,
Yeah, he did.
thinking
He
about
did.
Dying Light. Dying Light is the parkour zombie game.
Yeah.
As you can tell,
one.
they all sound 95% the same. And yeah.
Uh-huh.
Grounded, also very good. One of the few games I've played with dedicated servers on the console. So you can have 4 people in your Grounded world, but you're not reliant on the same person be there to host. Anyway.
So I just want to go.
Yeah.
Tell us all about Commander Shepard.
Well, no, I wanted to go back to the Joe Blackburn thing.
Oh, or we can go back to the Joe Blackburn thing. Night Demon, take us back to the Joe. Take us back, way back to the Joe Blackburn thing.
It was probably about 5 minutes ago, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing to know about Tyson is that they didn't need to put this in there, but they said that he's been leading multiplayer and Forge efforts in Halo 3. Now,
Really?
Does that have you excited that maybe, possibly, he would kind of bring that to Destiny 2?
Make Destiny Halo.
No, because we've had that potential for years now, and they haven't done anything with it. So
Yes,
why would
but
this change anything?
Because
Well,
if he's the game director,
Yeah, this is exactly the point my team is trying to make, because he now has good lead in that direction and has that experience and
goes, right, we've done this over here in Halo 3. If we give this to the players that they can build their own maps, bish bash bosh,
Bish bash bosh.
bish bash bosh, we could get maybe another 5 years out of the Destiny 2 game if we give the tools to the players. So maybe it was just something that I thought was quite interesting that
but we don't know
that in there.
But we don't know where the IP crosses over, because Halo is owned by Microsoft, right? And even though Bungie obviously was a big part of Halo, right? It's still Microsoft IP. So can they get away with something like that? You
can do a map building thing in Destiny. They have no, yes, you maybe you can't call it the Forge, but make it look like Halo. But yeah, that's a part of a game you can absolutely build. There's nothing Microsoft has about that.
Get something going Destiny related. Yeah, call it 6 fronts. We'll have the 6 fronts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like the battle. Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
But yeah, I thought that was just kind of interesting that they threw that in there.
Well,
but yes,
let's see. Let's hope he can actually do something with it, because you know what? If we can do stuff like what you're discussing, that would be enough to pull a scrub like me back into PvP, because that stuff was fun. I never played Halo the game per se, but my brothers were all about it, and I'd jump in to do like the whole. They'd use map builder to make tracks, and then bring the 4-wheeler, and you'd had to drive on the track without off the ledge while somebody shoots rockets at you. It was fun. You could do a lot of stuff with that. So maybe not traditional PvP, but I don't care. It sounds fun.
Trying to find who it was. It was one of the. I was watching some of the lore videos this week because again, it's sort of like, what are we talking about? Like with the Light and Dark saga ending, going, sort of kind of going, where do we go from here? What, you've taken 10 years to tell us this story. Where does the story go from here? Sort of making the point that like once we deal with the witness, sort of the winnower and the gardener are like the last like biggest bads left, and you can't really like. Anybody else we've been introduced to would be a lesser big bad. So it's like, why would we go back and fight people that we've already destroyed people stronger than? And just trying to say, like, is there a long overarching story here? Or are we going to get like, with the episodes, it'd be like self-contained shorter stories, like a deep dive into this, or let's talk about this, or let's go back and visit this time, and just sort of saying, you really built up this 10-year saga. Where do things go from there? Likely not another 10-year saga, because I'm assuming there's no second 10-year plan to make this all work out, and just sort of going, where do we go from here? And just, I'm trying to find the creator, because it wasn't the big ones that I have at the tip of my tongue, but just sort of trying to make that point of just, where do we go after these 10 years is up, and or do we go? Is this where a lot of people are going to offboard from the game at that point too? So what's Bungie, what's Bungie have to sort of keep things going that isn't quite so wrapped up in another, decade-long commitment and agreement with the player base?
Well, we did come up with that, didn't we, when we were going through what would kind of come after the final shape and the episodes. And episodes could be something where they could take you back for 6 months into like the past, and you could be at the Battle of Six Fronts, you could witness that, you could play that kind of era of the game, and tie it into the game where to save our future we have to save our past. And Quantum Leap or Back to the Future or Avengers Infinity War, just you have to go back into the past to actually do something in the future because something the Vex are doing. We did have a discussion, I can't remember which episode it was, but it sounds like the Star Wars problem, doesn't it? We had the original trilogy, we then went forward, well, we went back first to see what happened to lead us up to the original trilogy, which was fine. Then we went forward and it was just kind of, people slammed the recent trilogy as just kind of repetition of the original ones, and bringing back original baddies and things. And
I don't think
some people say
they didn't slam it as repetition. They slammed it because it wasn't good.
no, it was literally repetition. They put A New Hope up against The Force Awakens, and beat for beat they were showing you, right, this is what happens, this what happens, and it was kind of a copy and paste of that. This is how this happens. You've got Han dying, you've got Obi-Wan dying. It's like there was various different things, and it's like you get kind of stuck in this loop. How far forward can you go with telling the same story with the same big bads over and over and over again? And I think it's now getting to the point whereas they now have to. I mean, the Star Wars thing is that they're now looking back at legends, and they're looking at kind of the older myths of the Jedi and things like that in kind of books and comics. But going forward in the movies, and like with The Mandalorian, they're moving to different galaxies. So they're kind of sidestepping to go, well, there is a bigger galaxy over here, or there's a bigger galaxy over there. It's just like, in this galaxy, we've kind of done what we can do with the Jedi and the Sith. But over here, there is something more terrible. There is something that has been wielding the light and the dark of the Force and been turning it into this and doing that. Or there's baddies that have kind of escaped from this universe into that one. And I think that's probably where Destiny will go if they kind of continue, because there's only so far you can go with like what we've got. I mean, we're now kind of allies with the Fallen or the Elixni. We're allies with some of the Cabal and possibly Hive. But it's like the only other one out there is the Taken and the Vex, really. I mean, it's Scorn maybe, but they're all kind of tied to the Witness. Well, maybe not Vex.
Yeah, I mean, Vex is kind of the last big, or sort of the last big bad that we haven't kind of allied with and made friends with. And is there? So
it would make sense to shift it from one galaxy to the next, which then moves us out of our solar system to somewhere else, and give them potentially of kind of wiping the slate clean again and going, right, there's only X amount of things that we can take with us into this universe. We can still commune with the light and the dark, and we can still do these things, but there are new threats going forward. I think that's probably the only way that we can kind of do it. Either that, or kind of going back and retelling, showing you the stories of how kind of we became Guardians, and like the Vex are interfering with that, and you have to go back and save the past to save the future. I think that's the only kind of things that we can kind of do. I mean, that's a good thing that we've got the Vex there to be able to kind of maybe tell that storyline. But yeah, did you find your?
At what point do we save the cheerleader?
Yeah,
did you? That was a good series. I'm sorry it ended. Whatever.
That's all I can think of when you say save the past, save the future. I'm looking through my watch list. I will find it for the videos at the end of the show.
Okay.
Because I cannot remember the creator's name. And I've watched a lot of YouTube this week.
Oh, good. See, I was delaying for you to try and find it. I was like, what if he's found it yet?
Hey, guys. While he's looking for that question. So, somebody was talking in the chat last week about how Outbreak Perfected is really good when it comes to Strand. And he's talking about how it's a kinetic weapon and somehow it can do Strand damage or something like that, which will proc all the Strand stuff. And the little nanites also do like thread damage or whatever. You know anything about that?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Maybe it's landing rapid precision hits amidst a severing burst from the target. I don't know. I'm trying to look through other strand aspects to see how Outbreak Perfected would be good with strand. I mean, it's a good gun in general, but like, why specifically with strand?
The strand is excellent, and it makes everything better.
No, I don't disagree, but like, but why that gun? What does that gun have to do with strand? That's my question. That's all. Just trying to figure that out.
Red links and nanites are friends.
Yes, but how? Why? What ties them together? You know,
Christmas. Red and green. It's Christmas.
Anyway,
so Respawn,
yes.
do you think that we'll move from one universe to the next, and do you think it will involve Commander Shepard?
No. The only reason Commander
okay.
Shepard's in here is so we can sleep with the aliens.
Huh?
Well, aren't we already doing that?
You've never played the game, have you?
Nope.
There's a huge subplot to the game to see who you can, sleep with.
Be friends with.
Okay. No, sir.
Romance. See, this is the problem, and I can't remember. It was a streamer. I want to say it was Ascendant Nomad. It was someone talking recently about again, as the Destiny creators that were Destiny creators now going sort of, where does my career go once Destiny sort of falls off a cliff view wise, or what's going to happen to it? About how Destiny players are Destiny players. They play Destiny. There's if you're a Destiny player, there's not a lot of other things you're playing or things you're dabbling necessarily. You might pick up something and mess around with it, but you're sort of a Destiny player. And I think about that all the time when they're like, we have a crossover, and Deep and I are going, yep, that's a game that exists. That's certainly a thing that people have played before, that have opinions on. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I mean, it looks like all we're getting from that game is the armor, so, meh. But
armor and Sparrow and whatever, because there's some that's free and some that's not free, and I've lost track of what's what because I don't care about any of it.
Well,
right.
They announced this Tuesday something new. So we have a new ornament set inspired by Commander Shepard, Garrus Baccarin. I'm butchering these names because I don't know, and Dr. Liara Tasson.
Tassoni? There it is. Dr. Tassoni. Crossover.
Okay. And they're coming to Destiny 2 on February 13th. To celebrate this partnership with BioWare, we also have an exotic Sparrow, an exotic ship, and exotic Ghost available to all players at no cost. As well as the finisher, exotic emote at the Eververse store, all inspired by the sci-fi universe where Reaper means more than class item mod.
Sure.
Yep.
I have no idea.
Those
Reaper,
are all words that I'm sure someone's excited about.
Reaper's in that game too.
Okay.
But it's not.
But I like the idea that they are giving something free to players. But Bungie, at the end of the day, rather than just throwing it at me, put it in a Nightfall. I have to go and do a Grandmaster Nightfall for a chance at these things to drop. I have to play.
Stop! You're asking too much.
No one would do that. Nobody cares that much.
If they really wanted a crossover, we'd have like. Since I'm not saying Monster Hunter. When Monster Hunter had crossovers, like with The Witcher, like what we did supposedly, they had a whole like part of the game that was dedicated. It was like a DLC, right? You had to kill Witcher specific monsters. You got skins that made you look like Witcher characters. You got Witcher weapons. That's how you do a crossover. You don't just be like, oh, you can look like them. Haha, yay! We've put in minimal effort for maximum cost. Haha! I'm sorry. I know I'm being salty, but this goes back to the whole thing we were talking about last week about how, do something engaging for the players instead of just this minimal effort. We can do a crossover with this IP. Great. Can you put it in like a Nightfall or a mission or, God forbid you design a raid around this DLC, that's only out for one season. That'll really get people involved with the fear of missing out. You know what I mean? But you gave us Armor, Sparrow, Ghost, and who knows what, right? That's bare minimum, I think, right? Do something with this. Have fun with it. Let us have fun with it. Don't be lazy, guys. Come on. I know you're pushing out content to try to keep people engaged, but whenever you have a crossover or a DLC, take the time to make it a dungeon. It doesn't have to be a raid. A raid would be great, but make a dungeon out of the crossover. Put in some content that you have to do that's related very specifically to that crossover.
Why can't I romance Commander Shepard?
Well, Shepard's going to romance you, but that's beside the point.
That would be fun. I mean, again, it goes both ways. Why? I mean, you're going to give me you're going to give me a drop the day before Valentine's Day. Bring back Crimson Doubles. Let me play Crimson Doubles as these people, and then maybe I'll have some connection to them. Right now, I'm like, here's a thing of a game you've heard of and never played. Why do I care? Put them in the game. Give me some voice lines. Like give me an actual, to your point, give me a tie-in. Like if the crossover is to help me get me excited about BioWare games or Mass Effect or whatever these are from, give me a reason to care. Just hey, here's some armor and ornaments that you might know about or might not care at all about. Like give me a game tie-in for it.
But the thing that scares me is what you say. Give me some voice lines, whatever. That again, that's minimal Peroty. Like I want it to be an event.
Crimson Doubles.
Crimson Doubles is not an event. You just pair up with two people. That's a game mode, right? I'm talking about an event. You have a BioWare event. You have a dungeon. You have a raid. You have even a Lost Sector. Transform a Lost Sector. It doesn't even have to be big. I would prefer something much bigger than a Lost Sector. Fair enough. But give us actual DLC content.
That's not the way that Destiny are going to be doing it.
I know that's not the way they're going to be doing it.
Does Monster Hunter World have a microtransaction? Like, do they have a method to do this through microtransactions?
Aside from like the visual packs, all the actual DLC content was for free. The monsters, the weapons, all that other stuff is just part of the game.
Well, then that's your answer of why they didn't do it.
Well, even with Bungie, let's put it.
Not saying it's better or worse, but I'm just saying if you don't have microtransactions, then you don't have a method to do this through microtransactions. Again, I know nothing about it. That's why I'm asking.
But putting it in the Destiny perspective, right? You want to have microtransactions? That's fine. Give us a reason to do it. You want us to pay for a DLC crossover with this other game? Make it a dungeon, make it a raid, give us actual content and charge, I don't know. What's a good price for a DLC? $15, $20, $30 the max, right? I don't know. But make it a worthwhile DLC crossover, that's not related to the game's main storyline. You can have a side quest or, for example, right now, you didn't know the Witcher's hot tub was in the bottom of Marsav, was underneath Marsav where she sits. The Witcher's hot tub is right there, right? What if they had a whole...
I knew there was DLC? A hot tub, I just didn't know the context.
Right, yeah.
And there's no way it would.
There's no tie-in, right?
Right.
But had they had a DLC that you could pay for, maybe The Witcher accompanies you on some of these missions, right? Here we are, futuristic, space, homicide guardians that cannot be killed, and The Witcher, who's basically a medieval sorcerer type that kills monsters with silver swords and steel swords. Imagine that class of worlds coming together. The future versus the medieval kind of thing, man. That would have been great content if they would have turned that into a content. You know what I mean? Missed opportunity. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, they're lazy, and
yeah, I mean,
it's getting aggravating.
It's a missed opportunity to put the free stuff that we know that would just be able to go to the store, click a button, and pick it up for free. That isn't just thrown into the game of like randomly that you may get this from doing some higher level content. You have to go and do, if you go and do a Nightfall, the higher the Nightfall, the more chance that you get one of these things to drop. If you go and play like Iron Banner, you might have a chance to get one of these to drop at the end of an Iron Banner match. A bit like we had with the exotics back in Destiny 1. There is a small chance they're in the game. You have, to try and get the trials, put them in, get people to go and play trials. Just something more enticement to go and play some of these cool modes. That's something that isn't already there that people don't want to grind for. If they want to go and grind for these things, they'll go into these game modes and play them and see if they can get. That's what we're kind of missing, I think, from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is that kind of something, bringing people back to get something out of the game.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have a Fireteam Finder. First off, Bungie would like to thank all of you for trying out the new Fireteam Finder feature. Not everybody, because that wasn't me.
Not
that
me
wasn't you, Respawn.
But someone did. Someone's using it.
But apparently, there's been an outpouring of positive feedback and suggestions, so you've got to keep them coming. in the next couple of months, they'll be focusing the experience to feel complete in both in and out of the game. So to that end, there's something new lined up for us, which is a companion update. So at the moment, you can go on a companion. You can have a look at like LFG. You can actually go to the Bungie app and do an LFG. But they're going to update the LFG that they've got on their app currently to coincide with the fighting finder and synergize. Synergy. So you'll be able to kind of look at campaigns, Crucible, dungeons, Gambit, raids, seasonal stuff, etc. exactly the same way that you do in the actual game. So you'll be able to look on your app before you even jump on and go, oh, I can sign up for this or I can create this. Jump on and then you're in. So that's cool, isn't it?
I appreciate it's something else they're bringing to the app because, again, if I'm going to set up an LFG, I'm not going to do it in game. I'm going to have it set up by the time I get into the game to respawn someone. If I'm going to do a raid or something where I need people for, let me set it up outside a game. Now, I don't know if it made more sense in the game because if you're trying to do it outside of things, there's plenty of other places to do it. But I appreciate, like we said, when they launch it, is this going to be a one and done and they never touch it again? So at least they're investing in it. It's not just a totally one and done. And again, some of these features feel like they're building for the future. They're not going to have new seasons. They're not going to have big flashy new things. They're saying, what can we build now for when the saga ends? And a bunch of people drop off and we're trying to onboard, actually trying to onboard new players. What can we put in place to have ready for them? And also, this also makes me think when Marathon launches, they want to have a lot of this infrastructure built so they can launch a lot of this stuff alongside Marathon and have it be battle tested by people using it ahead of time. A lot of the stuff that Bungie is building for Bungie, not necessarily for Destiny, but again, that's where you get a whole bunch of people hitting a thing to make it better. So when you do launch it again or use it again or just improve it, improve it for the people using it, but also improve it for your future projects.
Right.
Yeah. So in the near future, they're on the lookout for improvements, including Fireteam Finder lobby voice chat, friend finders to Fireteam Finder lobbies, improved menu-to-menu flow, better feedback when you apply to lobbies, and last but not least, the roster will once again fit 12 Guardians on the nearby column. All in, there have been an additional 70 bug fixes and quality of life improvements slated for the next 6 to 8 months, many of which come directly from community feedback. But they do give us some numbers to go over for how well it's kind of been doing and completion rates and times. So this is pretty cool.
All right, Bungie, wow me. Tell me I can get through a raid in under 6 hours with a bunch of randos.
Well, sir, I can tell you dungeons 32%, strikes 32%, and raids 23%.
Did you say rage 23%?
Yes,
that sounds accurate.
So
now,
raid performance.
That's the top. That's the activities being fire team found. That's not completions. That's just what are people looking to do.
There are other things to play. So we have raid performance via Fireteam Finder. Root of Nightmares, 44% completion at 60 minutes. Deepstone Crypt, 40% at 52 minutes. Garden of Salvation, 31% complete at 48 minutes. Vault of Glass, 29% complete at 51 minutes. Korota's End, 28% complete with 59 minutes. Kingsfall, 25% complete with 66 minutes. Vow the Disciple, 24% at 49 minutes. And The Last Wish, 24% at 59 minutes.
What are these Bungie again? What are these completion times? Are you telling me that 44% of teams are getting through Root of Nightmares in an hour?
Yes,
is that what I meant to believe? But only 28% of fire teams are getting through Crota in an hour? Is that what you're telling me? And how far do I need to go to get to like 80%? I'm not asking for 100 even.
The completion rate for people that find a fire team and actually get it done is 44% for Root of Nightmares, and 60 minutes is the completion time.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that is an average completion time.
Results may vary.
Doesn't bring me faith.
Right?
I'm not excited.
Really? I'm quite excited. I mean, it's got me
You're excited about everything, dude. That has to do with
it's got me interested to actually see. I'm thinking next week I'm going to go to Fireteam Finder and see if I can play a couple of raids and see if I can get through
Can
them.
you do it before Rick Hack's video stops his intro?
No, but I'm thinking if I give myself a good 2 hours for a completion of a raid, any one of the raids, because in the challenges for the Moments of Triumph, it says you've got to kind of do some of the new stuff. So I've got to go back and do another Route of Nightmares. I've got to go back and do a Crota's to get those boxes checked. So I'm thinking if I pick up a Fireteam Finder, give myself 2 hours and see how well we can kind of get through it. I know it says 28% for Crota's and 44% for Route of Nightmares, but that still gives me hope that I might be able to find a team to get through it. So I'm willing to give it a try.
If you have the time to spend on it, I absolutely. I mean, it's like any other LG. You'll get through it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I'm saying it's not right for me. I'm not saying don't do it. It's there and you can do it. Like that's. Again, in D1, that's how I got through every raid for the longest time, is going into LFG and being like, I've done half of these encounters. If you can, teach me the other half, we're good. And sometimes you do get a great group and you knock it out in no time at all. And sometimes you get 5 people that don't want to listen and do their own thing and are all running different strats and it falls apart.
Gee,
yeah.
Couldn't know what the hell that's all about.
Nope. I know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. I wasn't talking about you, though. I was talking about the other host.
We know.
Anyway.
Well, let me tell you about the great value you can get with Uzemi RR4 amazing sniper rifle, allegedly, for Nightfalls next week with double completions and drops that... But Bungie, nobody wants a sniper rifle. Come on now. Come on. Night Demon, are you excited about a sniper rifle? I know Respawn isn't.
Not really, but I mean, they do say it's good for PvE and PvP. But
why?
Yeah.
Is it better than the Black Spindle?
But it's a
Is it
sniper
better
rifle.
than the Cloud Strike? Is it better than the Darcy? Is it better than any of the other snipers we have? If so, how? Why? What makes it good? What makes it bad?
You can get an adept version of it if you do the Grandmaster.
So nothing.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So nothing. But I feel like, again, I'm too lazy to keep track of the actual like drops and things. I feel like whenever it's a double drop weekend, it's never a weapon I care about.
Yeah, like the sniper, like this week with the grenade launcher would have been a prime double drop weekend for sure.
But
double buzzards, double undercurrents, double hunger juries, double.
I'm there with
anything
you.
Else.
I'm there with you. And to make you even more upset, do you know what the featured Nightfall is for next week?
Oh no! What?
The Corrupted.
Yep.
Who wants to do the Corrupted?
They put the worst reward on the worst on the worst not raid. What the hell is it?
You know why? You know why? Because Relic is back. They want you to go play Relic instead.
And
that's gotta be it.
They remembered Relic as a thing, and it'll be back for 4 weeks apparently. So you've got 4 weeks of Relic where you can grab your Aegis, your synaptic spear, or your scythe and go run over people in Crucible. Because again, it's not a serious game mode.
Yeah, like a laser tag weekend would be cool.
That was great though. What do you mean?
Bring back laser tag.
A great weekend.
Crimson doubles laser tag. Crimson doubles laser tag.
But yeah, I mean they did that they did that then. Bleh. They just need to redo more of that and do it on purpose instead of reactive, Well,
I'll tell you what they are doing. They're increasing the shard drop rate in the coil. Are you excited about that?
What kind of shards? Legendary shards that are going to be irrelevant? What kind?
To give you the platinum success that you need. So at the moment, it's around 35 to 50%, which is a bit lower than what they've expected. So based on data and time, they're announcing plans to make the activity a bit more forgiving for players to reach platinum in the future. However, by the end of second week, we're already seeing 70 to 85% of all completions reaching platinum as players get better at tackling all this activity. So on top of that, there are roughly half of those teams didn't even kill the glass collector to reach their score. These numbers have held steady throughout the season so far, but they're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a nudge. I mean, literally this week was the first week I'd seen a glass collector. I hadn't actually seen a glass collector before this week.
Are you talking about the dungeon?
No, the coil. Still the coil.
What?
Respawn also has never seen a glass collector.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a guy that you had to shoot in the dungeon for him to drop stuff that you needed.
Yeah, think that guy in the coil, and he drops purple triangles. that gives you a better score.
And he runs away
damn.
very quickly.
You had
He
me
does.
at
All
purple.
chasing him very angrily.
You go through the portal and they go, there's a glass collector. It does flash up on the side of your screen. I didn't even notice it. I was being yelled at, there's a glass collector. And I was like, where is he? I've got a super, I'm good. And I was trying to slam him as he's running. He's just like backing away. He's just booking it out of there like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a chance at all to catch him. And I've got to get 3 of these to complete a challenge. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the first one I've seen in 10 weeks. How am I going to catch these guys? So hopefully if they give this a little bit of a nudge, they give the glass collectors a little bit of a nudge to be in there. And you can is it only one that you get and it's just random where it spawns? I believe.
No idea.
I don't know. I ran one and got platinum this morning with 2 blueberries, and we saw and killed the one. Couldn't tell anything about him. I was like, oh, that guy. I've seen that guy absolutely peace out and run off on me before.
No,
it was the first time I'd actually seen him and saw that his name was Glass Collector. I was like, oh, that dude who just runs that I never bothered to chase because there's plenty of other things to kill in here.
Pals.
7,777,777 sword kills. That's what I can get.
Say that, but I got the emblem and I still ain't got the emblem. Wait.
Did you
redeemed it? There you go.
Did you go type in 9FYKDDPRT at budgie.net/redeem?
No, because it's not written in phonetics, so I can't read that.
Well,
okay,
I can't help you then.
That's 9
Yankee.
Fox Yankee. Yeah.
Kilo. Delta.
Kilo.
Delta.
Yep. What else? There's 3 you're missing. What's the last 3?
I forgot what P is now.
Peroty, Respawn,
Papa.
and Titan.
Papa, Romeo, Tango.
Oh, that's it. Papa, yeah. Papa Romeo. I'm thinking, no, my brain just went, nope, you don't know that letter at all.
Now, Night Demon, do you have a bit of a rant about this last Days of Support game to give? About the artwork they've featured here?
Nope.
What? What? What's wrong with the artwork? Hold on, let me see.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's glorious.
You're not talking about the dragon ramen stuff, are you? Wait, you are talking about the dragon ramen.
I'm talking about the artwork that they featured in the last Days of Support game to give, which we talk about, but it'll be over by the time you hear this. So
yeah,
it's over now.
It's basically the artwork that our logo is based upon.
Well, I mean, did you sue them for IP?
No, because I borrowed their artwork to create.
It goes the
our
other way
artwork.
around.
Yeah.
Look, I can't do that because I stole it first.
Yeah. Well, I improved on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you use artistic licensing, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then there's also, they've added a bunch of new Season of the Forge clips to their thing on YouTube, and you can go watch those if you want to, or not if you don't.
Yeah, they've updated their archives of videos. You can sit and watch a mini film. This isn't the film that we were promised, but it is a film that they've definitely put on YouTube.
Those are all accurate words. Just like there's an update on Prime Gaming Rewards. There's a new one. And they said at the beginning this is the last one, potentially. So your Vehement Flock exotic E-boat, your Knucklebug exotic ship, the Directoria Sagitta Legendary Sparrow, and the Timed Prime exclusive Legendary Shader, which I don't know the name of. It does have red, like beige and black in it, so who knows what color it'll actually be when you apply it.
No, I think that's the actual name of it, isn't it? The Timed Prime. Yeah, Timed Prime.
Okay, well, Timed Prime then. It is likely not flannel, so be disappointed.
No, but it is animated. I saw a Cheese Forever video showing me that it's animated.
Okay. Maybe it'll be worth it. Still not flannel though.
Speaking of Cheese, his latest video where he was talking about like
I'm gonna need to be more specific than that.
I'm trying to stop me. Where he's talking about the PvP infinite armor stacks, right? Armor chargers. Sorry.
I'm really confused at where this conversation has gone. We were talking about prime drops, and now we've gone to armor
the 10 reasons artifact mod is about to be disabled?
Yes, that. He doesn't say a single word in the whole thing. Like, it's all text. Like, what happened with that?
Because sometimes I think he just needs to get the video out before he.
Yeah, but it would take more time to edit the words in there than to just say it.
It's a lot quicker. You can type it up a lot quicker.
Yeah, sometimes he does a voiceover and sometimes he just puts the words on the screen.
All right.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah,
But
the
Bungie
last
and
couple have been
Amazon-
like that when he wants to get them out quickly.
Bungie do say that they have, their partnership with Amazon Prime started in January 2020, and today's drop marks the 49th bundle that they're giving away as part of the program. But this promotion is coming to an end. So please don't forget to pick it up before March 7th and grab your items from the kiosk behind Rahul in the tower. So is that kiosk now kind of sort of semi-redundant? Unless you kind of get stuff for the season, it goes in there, doesn't it? So if you get like
Rahul's
the
secret stash ends up there.
stash, yeah.
So maybe that's what it's there for. Maybe
Give
something
it
else will take
back
its
to
place.
him. Give it back to
When-
him. He hasn't got anything else.
When I'm a little disappointed. I mean, it does end March 7th, but I'm a little disappointed there weren't 77 drops or something. Bungie, come on now. This doesn't seem like you.
Well,
Right.
That kicks off my autism there. That we stopped on 49. Why have we stopped on 49? Is it something to do with the 49ers maybe winning the Super Bowl, or
Jeffrey Bezos. It's all his fault.
it's upsetting me that it stopped on 49. Just upsetting me that it needs to go to 50, and then we cut it off. But 49, no.
We do have
What
Quick.
do we have?
somebody wish for more wishes. A player support report.
Go on, Respawn. You do it.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting murdered at the moment.
No, I meant you did more wishes. I didn't say you read the stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, totally more wishes. But, unlike Aladdin, who did it the wrong way, I would ask the genie to, give me all 7 Dragon Balls, and then ask the Dragon Balls to grant me more genies.
Okay, let me try it. Let's see. Amankara Tales Triumph. I wish that we are aware of the Destiny update fixing an issue where the final radio message of the season didn't complete the Tales Triumph, and the fix was made preemptively when the radio messages were released later in the season. maybe that'll come true. Okay, let me wish. Let me wish for Moments of Triumph 2023 beginning. And they've begun. And they have a whole page where you can go and see things, or if you log into the game, it'll be like, hey, you've done things. Congratulations. Do the rest of them. Earn a t-shirt. Victories,
Right.
everyone.
I could tell you about it after he's finished doing this.
I would tell you where to go get the more information on the Moments of Triumph, but the link they put in the show notes does not work. Or show notes. And link they put in the TWAB takes me to a 404 page, so I don't know where they're trying to take me to, but not there.
That's
So
why
somewhere there's a Moment of Triumph guide.
I'll tell you about the stuff.
All right. Well, I'll tell you that there's a couple of known issues that I didn't wish for, but yet here they are anyway. Hey guys, you'll never believe the totem spawns in the Warlord's Ruin dungeon are sometimes inconsistent.
Deal.
Never saw that coming, did you?
Nope.
The Winter's Guile exotic uses the term encased instead of frozen in the perk description because we are the Frozen Clan and that's our word. You can't have it.
Just
The
gotta let it go.
reprised Dreaming City weapons still are not counting toward the Cursebreaker title. So while we're going to make you go to the Dreaming City and get more of those weapons, you cannot get the Cursebreaker title with them.
Or you should
And
have done
players
it
are
the first time
being...
now.
Yeah, but we didn't. We're not going to now.
No.
And players are being granted incorrect triumphs after acquiring the ritual ornaments in the Chivalric Fire Sword. For the Chivalric Fire Sword. And that's it. Those are only issues. Same issues as last week and the week before. Now, Night Demon, where might I find my Moment of Triumph guide that I was linked to erroneously here?
Well, not the official Bungie one, but I have got one from WoW Vendor over. Yeah, I'll link it in the show notes. But it goes through all the different things that you all the triumphs and the fulfillment conditions. So I could run through these for you. So Paracausal Adventurer, complete Year 6 raids and dungeons. So that's Crota's End, Root of Nightmares, Warlord's Ruin, and Ghost of the Deep. Lightfall, Legendary, beat the Lightfall campaign on Legendary difficulty. Action Hero, finish all heroic public events in Neomuna. There's one that I'm missing out on that one, which is really annoying. Cartographer, complete all lost sectors in Neomuna. They're Not Dolls, collect all the unique action figures in Neomuna and place them where they belong in Strider's Gate. Terminal Treasures, at the end of the Terminal Overload activity, open Terminal Overload chests. Terminal Overload keys grant additional progress. Take a Strand, inflict the Unraveled, Sever and Suspend debuffs upon targets. Restored and Remembered, restore all the damaged memorials in the Hall of Heroes in Neomuna. Honorary Cloud Strider, get all rank rewards from Nimbus. Root of Nightmares, complete any version of Root of Nightmares. Crota, complete any version of Crota. Arise, finish any version of Ghost of the Deep, that's the one. and beat any version of Warlord's Ruin. That's Arise and collect the debts of Kings, O Vengeance Mine. And Unbowed, Unbent, complete every step in the We Stand Unbroken quest line. Big Game Banisher, defeat champions or bosses in the Defiant Battlegrounds playlist. I still haven't done that one. Scourge of the Light, destroy combatants with Season of Defiance weapons. Still haven't done that one. Fully Salvaged, complete the quest Into the Depths. Mechanical Depths, successfully complete an encounter at each depth level of the deep dives. Deep Reserves, defeat targets with Season of the Deep weapons. Hook, Line and Sinker, you've definitely done this one. Catch fish at any fish pond. Sisters and Swords, complete every week in the Bladed Path quest. Elemental Covens, finish Savathun Spire with a full fire team of Arc, Void and Solar subclasses. So that's a tick for each one of those. I haven't done that yet. Acolyte's Offering, complete every week in the Bladed Path quest. Red Tithings, defeat targets with the weapons from Season of Witch or the Red War era. Arcane Knowledge, identify all of the minor arcane at the Lectern of Divination. The Parting Glass, complete the quest Wishing All the Best. Layer Crawler, complete pathways in Riven's Layer Coil. Riven's Relics, open the chest in Riven Layer and the Coil. By the Breath of Soul, complete the exotic mission Starcross with a full fire team only using solar. And Weapon Proficiency, defeat combatants in the Dreaming City and seasonal activities.
Well, I'm glad you had a link because I did find the link to the Moments of Triumph guide, and it basically tells me that it runs from the 30th of January to the 4th of June, 2024, and that I may have to own Destiny 2 Lightfall, the Lightfall Dungeon Key, and the season passes for season 20 to 23 to play some or all of the content. And then it tells me how to redeem codes for things that I get. So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Ghost unlocks pretty quick. If you've already done some of these things beforehand, it has auto completed most of mine. The Sparrow, I think, only took a couple of extra ones that was like just running through the coil, and I think the shirt was pretty quick as well. So I've got all the 3 unlocks, but it's just kind of getting the title. I think is going to be having to go and do Crota's End and Root of Nightmares. Even though I've done them, I haven't done them in the Year of Our Lord that they tell us to do. So,
is Root of Nightmares where the Rufus's Fury comes from?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So that at least gives me a reason to go do that.
So you and me,
Acceptable.
next week. You and me next week. Fireteam Finder. We'll coerce some people to come and join us.
There we go.
Hey, if you're gonna play when I'm not working, I'll join.
We'll fire Team Find, and we'll have, let's see, Night we will have a 44% chance of getting through it in 60 minutes for Root of Nightmares.
So if we give ourselves 2 hours, that gives us 88% chance.
That's absolutely how numbers work. Yep. 100%. But we do have artists and movies of the week, and there's Daughters of Works that somebody has built, made, something. They're freestanding figures. They're pretty nifty. And something about intrusive thoughts about bouncing and being dead, and Star Horses involved. And that's it. That's the TWAB.
Huzzah.
Respawn.
Yes.
Was it Outbreak and Strand combo will make you an endgame beekeeper? Warlock PvE.
I saw what you put there. And
is that the video?
Yes, I guess that was it, because Stellar was talking about... Was it Stellar? Hold on.
I mean, that's the only thing that I found that was... I mean, it's from 9 months ago, but that's the only thing that I found that looked vaguely correct. It did say Warlock, which confused me, but... And
that's exactly what he said, too. He said, yeah, just unravel with the Warlock melee. I'm like, yes, problem. Back up. Get unravel with the what melee? Can you say that again? It sounded like you said Warlock, right? And we all know that I'm not a Warlock. So
yeah, and which honestly makes a lot more sense for you to be talking about it, because I was like, I don't know what you... I mean... You could with the Hunter, just like I could with the Titan, but no, the Warlock and the Threadlings and the Siva, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
And then you could be a beekeeper like Jason Statham, and then you win the game.
Jason Statham, that is the wrong beekeeper, and you keep bringing that up.
Listen, they made a movie. It's called The Beekeeper. It features Jason Statham. That's the only beekeeper I know, so that's their fault for making the movie.
I can't fault you for that, but
I don't make the rules.
You just abide by them?
No, I don't really do that either. So we have no report roundup. Do we have videos, 19? Have you watched anything that was worth talking about?
We have, and I'd like to thank my friend Blue Screen for this, because when I was randomly playing on, I think it must have been Tuesday, we were I was in Iron Banner, finishing off some Iron Banner stuff. And
Ready
Blue
on
jumped
new
in.
business.
Yeah. My friend Blue jumped in and he was like, I've seen this really cool build. It's by somebody called Mactix. And I was like, yep, tell me more. He said it's for Titan. I was like, brilliant.
Tell me more.
I'm down with this.
Yeah.
Infinite, like, immunity in, like, PvE activities. And I'm like, tell me more. And it's with the Stronghold gauntlets for the Titans, which when you block with a sword, you can kind of just block permanently for forever. And the amount of damage that you take gives you kind of restoration when you do actually hit a target. So the idea is to kind of block for, I think it's up to 100 hits
Forever.
You take a swing at a target, you don't even have to kill it, but you then start getting restoration on your character. You can continue to block after that. So you only have to do don't even have to do a heavy hit, you have to do a small hit. And it gives you restoration. And the build that they kind of put together, or Matrix put together, was on a stasis Titan. So every time that you take damage, you recharge your melee and your grenades with the way that he's kind of got it set up. So you throw out your ice grenade, you can slide into it, do damage, take out people. It's fantastic. We tried it in Grandmasters, but what we also kind of did was mess about with it. So we didn't just stay on a Stasis Titan. We messed about on Strand. We used Solar. We used Arc. We used Void, because it still works on those subclasses. Maybe not as efficiently as it kind of does on a Stasis Titan, but you can see how it's kind of working. And the icing on the cake was using Risk Runner, because even when you don't have Risk Runner out, you still get a 15% like buff to kind of taking less damage with Arc coming in. So it kind of helps you go against some of the enemies that shoot you with Arc, which was quite cool. And yeah, I mean, we tried that and it was really cool. So I will link the Mactix video, which is called "You'll Stop Dying in Destiny with This Build." I then had a look at what other videos Mactix put out this week, and he's also done one for the Hunters and he's done one for the Warlocks. So the Hunter one is the Trip Mine build with the young Ahamkara spines. And the way that they've kind of got it set up in PvE is just like constantly proccing the grenades to be thrown out, the trip mines to be thrown out, and then you can throw out the what is it? The gun, the thingy gamble.
Gunpowder gamble. No,
gunpowder gamble, which also then
gamble. It's
it's one of the aspects, isn't it? That
When
when you
100 things.
Yeah, you get so much damage, you can then throw out an extra grenade, and if you shoot it, he does it with a Mida multi-tool with incandescent on there, and throwing out the blades, the 3 blades as well for your melee, because they proc and generate the grenade energy. And he was just like running around, just throwing out constant grenades, and everything was fire and exploding. Fantastic. And then he's got one for the Warlocks, which is using the Illumina and the Astro, is it Astrocyte Verse? No, not Astrocyte Verse. The Eye of Another World, which is the Eye of Another World. So it highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift ability, and provides a small benefit to the airborne effectiveness of stats of all weapons. So he was using that with healing his team with the Lumina, and just basically being unkillable with that as well. It's quite a unique build, and it's part of his kind of will it build like set that he's kind of doing. I think you were telling me about this, weren't you, Peroty? Was it TDT that were doing will it build as well?
TDT was doing will it build. Yeah, I was talking about one of the ones TDT put out last week about like the either will it builds or the infinite builds. The ones that aren't based on artifacts.
So yeah, I mean these are builds that kind of the community has kind of DM'd him and said, right, do this with like aspects, fragments, and use these exotics and do it like this. And he tries it out. So will it work basically? And these 3 builds that he's kind of put over the last 3 days have been really cool. I'm definitely going to try the Hunter one in the next couple of weeks, and definitely going to try the Warlock one as well. But yeah, the Titan one was really good. So those are my 3 for this week. Because Well, I mean, I could give you the Happy Groundhog Lays advert that Ryan Reynolds posted, that I've watched and then made my wife
He
watch.
said Ryan Reynolds.
You should link that to us because I have not seen that yet. But what I
Yeah.
have watched is Mylan Games did a complete history of the Warlord Shax. So, Shax, who doesn't love him? Why can't I romance him in my Destiny 2 dating sim? Dado asked, is it even worth bothering with the Wishkeeper Catalyst? So if you haven't done it, yeah, maybe it's worth bothering, maybe it's not. And I did find the person I was looking for, who is Venextron, Venextron. Because I had watched both Beyond the Final Shape, how one character can save Destiny's, and I posted it, and now I can't see the full title. Can save Destiny's second saga. There's a word, which is the one that talked about how what the second saga is and what they're, what they should be doing with it, along with Destiny 2: The Final Shape. How Bungie wrote themselves into a corner, which is the one I was sort of talking about, where they said, we fought all the biggest bads. The Vex are the only thing that's left. The Winnower and the Gardener are about the only two bigger bads left than anything we fought. And we fought so far. So where do we go from here? And I hadn't really come across the streamer before doing lore stuff, but he's done a bunch of lore videos. And if you're going Winnower and Gardener, he links to another video that he's made about that as well. So I've been watching a bunch of Destiny lore this week, honestly, because that's kind of what's out, and just seeing, there've been some interesting stuff that's come across my feed. So
cool.
Good stuff. Good times.
Respawn, have you got any videos?
Nope. Just the one I was talking about earlier with the
on brand.
No, I did. I mentioned it earlier. The Cheese Forever video where he's showing you how to get infinite stacks of armor inside of PvP, and also if you don't know about it, like somebody here doesn't, there's an emote. It's the trash can emote, and if you stand against a wall and you do the emote, the trash can appears inside the wall, and you crawl in the trash can. Ergo, now you are in the wall, and you can see out of it, right? You can see everything that's going on because you're clipping through the wall. But other people can't really see, and depending on the spot, they can either see like the tiniest tip of your trash can or nothing at all, which means you are essentially invisible, and people have been rocking that fire ice shotgun, and they'll pop out and boom, boom, just game over, and then go back to the wall with the next guy. Yeah, that one, conditional finality.
Do we know?
I think that's the problem.
Did Cheese make a video on this one, or did somebody else make a video on this one?
No. I forgot who made that video. Cheese made the one about the stacks of armor.
Maybe I saw it on TikTok. Sorry.
Yeah. That link I've gotten, and I've got the link about the Outbreak and Shiva Strand build for the Warlocks.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the other one came from, and hadn't seen it this week.
Actually, if you give me a second, I literally just watched it a few hours ago. Let me see if I can't get you guys a link real quick. History right there. I don't know where it's at. It's not on it's not on today's or yesterday's.
So if Respawn can find the video, we'll link it to you in the show notes. And if he can't, we will not link it to you in the show notes, because neither one of us know what he's talking about because we haven't seen it either.
I'll try and find it on TikTok and link it.
It'll be here somewhere.
Or maybe he just streamed
I
it up.
watched
Hard
the
to
flipping.
say.
No, I definitely watched the freaking video, so I don't know about it.
If only there was a place you could put videos to talk about on the show.
I'm there.
Link.
Oh, I assumed you guys would already know about it because it was a big deal. Okay.
I literally have seen nobody talking about this, or at least, normally the glitchy stuff comes up on YouTube, or one of the many people I follow cover it. Literally have seen nothing on it.
Is it the invincibility glitch? Hold on.
Are you sure it was like this week? And this isn't something older you were watching?
No, I'm 100% sure. It was like a day or two ago.
Right. But was the video recent, or was the video from a while ago?
Here's another one. Wait, when was this? Oh, that was 6 years ago. No, that definitely ain't it. But this is 6 years ago, and it's on a map that we have in Destiny 2. What the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're old, and so is the game. So yeah. So again, if we can find it, we'll link it. If we can't, we won't link it. And
here we go. Can PvP glitch in Destiny 2? Here we go. I'm on to something. Game breaking glitch is ruining PvP right now. Okay, here we go. Is this it? Is this the one to watch?
And that was made how many days ago?
No, that was 4 months ago. That can't be it. What the hell?
So I'm gonna guess Respawn watched an old thing because YouTube likes to this old things.
I mean, because the trash can is in the shop right now, so that can't be months ago. It's in the shop right now where you step into a trash can for the emote.
That doesn't mean it's the first time it's been in the shop.
Nah. Hold on. All filters.
Well, as Night Demon has to run off to work here soon,
Yes.
what I'm going to say is I appreciate the Zep Orbit Can't Be Threatened with a Good Time. I appreciate the T-Rex King, Scarlet KM, BHS Nightcrawler, Melomel, and Dedicated Wham are our Otter Dance Troupe. Harvard 2782, Golden God 1562, We Noble, Basically Salt, Zombie Pops Renard, Kalant, Fire Squad 1688, Encoders and 105. Do throw all of the grenades, which either our Otter Dance Troupe is dancing around or dodging, it's hard to say which. And Dimwee and Gravy Jeff and PB Pipe are Deacon's Day 1 raid team. And we appreciate each and every one of you lovely human beings who have gone to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTAH and said, I appreciate them, here's some dollars, or yen, or dinero, or euros, or whatever you use. And we appreciate you for appreciating us, because this is the Mutual Appreciation Society. I also appreciate that the time has come for me to say thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon, your Hunters don't want to respond to real life. We are on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everywhere you go, type in 2 Titans and a Hunter, and you will find us. You could and can email the show at 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. Find this show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube for each new episode, weekly live update, stream, video, what Shade of 1 has, what the rotation is, and then watch Bungie change the rotation midweek to drive Night Demon insane. It's all part of the fun. And maybe a raid stream this week, maybe not. So I think you should definitely go over to twitch.tv/2titansandahunter and twitch.tv/no1respawn in real life and hit the subscribe and the bell, because even if the bot in the Discord won't tell you, the Twitch probably will tell you when we go live. And if you're looking for more fun, patreon.com/TTAH or coffee.com, that's ko-fi.com/2titansandahunter if you want to toss some things our way, or if not, find this show where you get where you get all your shows, and we'll be back with you next week for a different show about different things involving Destiny and Power World and who knows what else.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes,
Night
sir.
Demon, tell the good people goodbye.
Deuces!
Yeah, what he said.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.